to A1R Psychic Radio here on Moonstruck TV. You're here with Amanda Hall, Psychic, all the way from the Gold Coast here in Australia on our very, very special Valentine's Day week of amazing shows here on A1R Psychic Radio on Moonstruck TV. I'm really excited to be here for my first Valentine's Day with you guys. Whether, you're here in Australia, which is officially a Valentine's Day here today, or whether, you're looming towards it tomorrow overseas, it's going to be a very exciting time. So I hope wherever you are in this amazing planet of ours that you're sitting back with a cuppa, relaxing and ready to enjoy some of the wonderful shows we have on the show tonight for you. For those of you that are familiar with where I am in the world, I'm on the Gold Coast, which is surf, sun, bikinis, hot weather, margaritas in one hand, I suppose, and suntan lotion in the other. Let me assure you, today is no different. We're in the middle of a heat wave here. So it's well over 30 degrees Celsius here, or well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, if you can relate to that. So you can appreciate we're all sitting here with fans, air conditioners, our feet in cold water and everything like that, just trying to keep cool so that we can bring you an absolutely fantastic show. So for those of you that watch the show regularly, you'll know that I have a little formula that I like to follow, and we always kick the show off with the card of the week. And this week I thought, how interesting is it going to be to see what card will actually come out for Valentine's Day? Because I don't normally try and particularly pick or channel a certain card to come out to take us into the show. I just allow my psychic fingers, I suppose, to do the work. And sometimes I'm really surprised at what actually comes out, that it's right on point with everything else that I was going to talk about on the show. And sometimes it's completely ambiguous. And I think, okay, right, we've got to try and tie that in with the rest of the show. Today, I was absolutely astounded that I pulled the card of the week. And to my amazement, the card of the week turned out to be the ultimate, most perfect card for Valentine's Day. It's the Lovers. So there you go. I mean, there must be somebody pulling some strings from above, I believe. Maybe St. Valentine himself is pulling the card of Lovers today so that everybody can share in this loving energy for this week. So the Lovers card does mean love affairs, romance building again within a marriage, relationship, relatives, loving relationships you could share with a friend. Now, sometimes people sort of think of the Lovers card and they think, oh, good, I'm getting a new lover. Well, darlings, I don't want to burst your bubble, but for most people, having a new lover turning up into their lives when they're already in a very settled, comfortable relationship would be shock horror. I'm not ready to get rid of my previous husband or wife, or I'm quite content. So when it comes up and you're already in an existing relationship, the Lovers card means let's look at how we can improve the loving energy in our lives. Is there somebody that we need to give some extra special attention to? Is there somebody that needs a little bit of loving attention, or needs just some confidence, or just spending some time with them, or maybe helping them with a difficult problem, or maybe listening to their problems that they might have? And they may not always be connected to matters of the heart. They may be struggling with, a health crisis, or one of their children, or not knowing what the next step in their life is. And sometimes by just being kind and being there and putting a smile on their face and giving somebody something, your time, and not expecting anything in return, is the greatest gift that we can give. And that's what I believe love can be about. Love takes on many, many different forms. It's not always about being in love or searching for a relationship. So I hope that sort of helps clarify the Lovers card a little bit in the tarot cards. We work with a Simply Tarot card every week, a set of cards that I designed back in 2005, taken off the Rider-Waite deck here in Australia with an Australian publisher called Hindle Books. So if you want to know more about that, you can always head to my Facebook page, which is Amanda Hall Psychic, and you'll find information there about the Simply Tarot cards. Now, we're going to move it along because it is our Valentine's Day special, and it is all about love, and the whole show should be about love today, I believe. You will find some information later on my Facebook page about the perfect gift to buy your Valentine. If you haven't already done so, by astrology. There's a 2-part series there that I'll post back up again this afternoon for you, or later tonight, so that you can sort of get in there and have a little glimpse of how to make your special someone their day even more special. But, Valentine's Day isn't always about the money that we spend. I believe it's about the time that we invest in giving somebody else our attention, spending quality time with them, doing something nice for them, even just making them a cup of coffee. Spending that little bit of time can be that very extra special thing that they they will treasure more than you spending a lot of money. So for those that are traditionalists and like to go with the hearts and flowers and the chocolates, there's nothing wrong with that either. I mean, look, I believe we all should do what makes us feel good, not necessarily what someone else tells us is the right thing to do. So having said that, we're going to move along in our mini-series that we've been looking at with astrology, where we've been focusing on love through the signs. Now, I chose love because it was the love time of the year, and we're up to part 3 of our love series, so we're going to be working with Libra, Scorpio and Sagittarius today. If you're fortunate enough to be in love with a Libra, you are in for the time of your life. Librians, I believe, epitomise what love is about. They love to serve, they love to make you feel special and important, they love to spoil you, they love everything that's creature comforts, they like pretty things, and they like to give of themselves and try and make their time with that special someone so important that they'll never forget them. If you're lucky enough to have a Libra that is your Valentine, well then you're a very, very lucky person indeed, because they certainly will go all out with their time that they want to spend with you over this lovers period, but they make love very special all the year round. For those of you that are fortunate enough to fall in love with a Scorpio, now you won't often hear me say really wonderful things about Scorpio. It's one of those signs I've struggled with in my 30 odd years in astrology, and purely because it's such an intense sign, and it's sometimes such a negative sign, because it's so intense and likes to delve underneath the surfaces and underneath the crevices and go down to the bottom and really sort of get into the murky areas of their soul and other people's souls. Sometimes I find it difficult to find something positive about a Scorpio that we can bring in a way that everybody can relate to and understand. Well, I'm pleased to say I have one thing that we can all agree on. If you are fortunate enough to have a Scorpio lover, you are said to have the lover of the zodiac. So congratulations. If you want an intense, dynamic, powerful, amazing relationship, an amazing love affair, then Scorpio is for you. On the negative side, you have to be a little bit careful. They can sometimes become a little bit jealous and possessive because they want what is theirs. They may admire somebody else in a very sexy, provocative outfit. They'll admire someone else's wife or husband, but don't you do it, because you're supposed to be sanctimonious, you're supposed to be special, and the only person that's supposed to see you in that sexy outfit is me, no one else. So sometimes a little bit of a double standard there, but look, today we're being kind to Scorpios. Scorpios really are a very powerful, dynamic sign. If you're fortunate enough to have a Scorpio lover, well, enjoy it. Enjoy everything that comes with the romance and the intrigue and the game playing and the wonderful time that can be had on a romantic level. So if you're a Sagittarian like me and you really want to know what you can do for your Sagittarian partner or your love interest, well, Sagittarians value their freedom. Above anything else, don't take that away from them. If you give them their freedom, they won't want it. But if you try and put restrictions, limitations or whatever, or tell them what time they should be home, they will just automatically go the opposite direction because they do not like to be told. That you can suggest, you can ask, but don't tell them. Sagittarians love the idea of adventure, of being in the outdoors, of looking for new and exciting things to explore, whether it's a foreign country or going to somewhere different or eating in a different restaurant or trying a different type of food. They really know no boundaries. So if you fall in love with a Sagittarian, make sure that you mix it up a little bit, make it exciting, make your dinner reservations at a different type of restaurant. Shake it up a little bit. That will keep their interest above anything else. And remember, don't try and cage them in, because the moment you do, they'll fly the coop. But if you give them all the freedom under the sun, they won't want it. So it's just a little bit of a tip there. So that takes me on to my candle of the week. And I mean, you're not going to get any prizes for guessing this week what we're going to feature. Of course, we're featuring the love candle because it is the love time of the year and it's Valentine's Day. And it's the time when I think all our thoughts, all our energy should go to loving, positive sort of energy. And there's no exception here. Love is love, and love means many things to many people. But I think when most of us think of love, we get that warm, fuzzy feeling. We feel content. We feel as if all our stress has left our bodies and our lives just for that split second. So that's our extra large candle. And for those of you that may have been looking for putting it into a gift situation, Of course, you can always buy our trio pack of the little mini love candles that come in this gift box. And that gives you sort of, your takeaway love candle for maybe that weekend getaway, or that something special, or that nice candle at picnic where you'd like to take a candle with you to have burning as you're having your little picnic out under the stars, and it's in a safe container that travels well. So it's going to take us on to our next part of the show, which is our glimpse around the universe. Now, this week I want to talk to you about a couple of areas of astrology that some people sort of say, oh, look, sometimes astrology just goes straight over my head. There's just too much to remember and too much to absorb. And what I'm endeavouring to do by giving you a little glimpse around the universe every week is try and demystify this a little bit so that we can all take away something from this little bit of this amazing subject that can help enhance our lives. So this week I want to focus on the new moon, which will be in Aquarius, because we are in the sign or the energy of Aquarius at the moment. So the new moon is always in the same sign as the sun. That will move in there on the 16th. Now, the 16th of February, wherever you are around the world, is the new moon. The energy will last for approximately 2.5 days. Now, it doesn't matter what type of candle you use. Yes, terrific if you've got one of my new moon candles, but if you haven't and you've got a white household grade candle that you use in times of flower blackouts, that's fine too. Or you've got your favourite candle in a container or a tea light candle. It doesn't really matter what you use as long as you set your intentions. What you need to do is set down on a piece of paper 2 or 3 things that you might like to attract to you or bring towards you in your life during this period. Now, the new moon denotes new opportunities, new things that we want to draw towards us. Because it's in the energy of Aquarius, it is also asking us to step out of our comfort zone a little bit and try something different. So if you've just had a brand new idea for a new business or a new opportunity or something new that you'd like to bring into your life and it's a little bit out of the ordinary, different to what you've tried before, this is perfect because it fits in very well with the new moon and with the Aquarian energy. The Aquarian energy is emotionally detached. It's a time when we get some tremendous insights or thought patterns happening. It's sometimes when we get those light bulb moments where things just pop into our mind as if by a stroke of genius. Where did that come from? That's the Aquarian energy. So this week with our glimpse around the universe, besides the new moon in Aquarius, I'd like to focus on another fairly important area that I feel affects each and every one of us, as the new moon in Aquarius does too. But Jupiter is in Scorpio. Now, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, opportunity. Expanding waistlines are included in expansion, I'm sorry to say, but it's the planet of opportunity, the expansion and luck. Now, when it's said to be in Scorpio, it is said to be delving below the surface, looking beyond the superficial, looking beyond what's just in front of your nose, looking for opportunities, looking for something that maybe we started a while ago, but we ran out of puff or we ran out of money or wasn't the right time and we put it away. Well, now it's time to bring it out, dust it off, and let's have another look at it. Because if we look at things at the moment, in what Jupiter is asking us to do is to rely on our intuition, look at the things that are hidden from us in our lives or things that we've put away for another day, bring it out, dust it off, have a look at it, and see whether or not now is the right time to bring this out and start working on it. Now, the reasons why I'm saying it might be and not necessarily is we have what's known as a square or a 90-degree angle from Jupiter in Scorpio to the Sun in Aquarius conjunct Mercury. Now, what that means in very basic terms, we've just spoken about Jupiter in Scorpio and what that does. So it's making a difficult or a little bit of a challenge there with the Sun, where the Sun is the drive and the ego and sort of says this is where we want to shine. Mercury is the planet of communication, so it's thought bubbles, it's information, it's thinking outside the square, because it's all in the Aquarian energy. So we've got Jupiter squaring in water, squaring the Sun and Mercury in air. They're both fixed, so they're both very determined, stubborn, pig-headed, whatever label you want to put on them. They're both always right, but they're not necessarily always right. They need to become a little bit more flexible and work with each other instead of against each other. They can work with each other. They can sort of say, yeah, well, I know what you're saying, but this is my point of view, and still be that little bit stubborn, but at the same time thinking about it and allowing it to absorb into them, but not necessarily ready to admit yet the other side's right and they're wrong, or we can adjust our thinking and work together. So if you add that with the new moon, this would be the time when you could get that amazing opening for potentially a new business, a new opportunity, a breakthrough in communications, getting somebody to listen to your point of view, whatever the case may be. It's like, hey, hang on a minute, we might be able to find a solution here. We might be able to find a way to just jimmy that door open a little bit so we've got some light to see where we're going forward. So that's where I'd like to leave our glimpse around the universe this week for you to all look at. And we're going to take our first call, is Jeanette in Suffolk in Hungary. Are you there, Jeanette?
Hi, hello, I'm here.
How can I help you tonight, sweetie?
Yeah, I would like a reading for a love reading.
You want a reading on what, sweetheart?
A love reading regarding love romance.
Right. Okay, let's have a look at that. I've got a very tall, dark-headed man here that's coming back towards you from your past, Jeanette. Was that somebody that you were in a relationship with sort of like last year or maybe even the year before with dark hair?
Maybe, I don't know. I just perhaps.
Look, I felt it was somebody from your past. I didn't feel it was somebody new that was coming towards you. This man was familiar. It was to me like, there was an interest there, or whether the two of you only dated for a little while and for whatever reasons the opportunity to take this relationship further didn't happen. But I do feel him coming back towards you. I do feel he's got very dark hair, dark eyes. The hair's quite straight, almost as if he does it with one of those straightener things. It just sort of seems unnaturally straight to me. But look, I get a nice energy around him. I don't feel it's next week that he's coming into your life. I sort of feel more around April or May. And it's going to be a situation where you both need to adjust to being in a relationship. You both seem to be very strong people, and you both want what you want when you want it. So I think there's going to be a little bit of argy-bargy there while we sort of define what is the relationship and how we will go about it and how we will sort of approach it. You sometimes can I be blunt with you, sweetie, and say a little bit manipulative. You come across as being so very innocent and sweet and happy, and I'm happy to go along with whatever you want, and then whammo, you come out with the sucker punch and say, this is what I need. So I think you need to sort of moderate that a little bit. It's all well and fine to be kind and gentle and be very pleasing to someone else, but you have to also make sure that your needs are being met as well. That, that you're showing somebody who you truly are, not what you think they want to see. And also, too, I don't want you to take on board a relationship with someone just because you feel sorry for them. And that's what you seem to have done in the past. You've attracted people towards you, Jeanette, that really weren't truthful with you. That they had more emotional issues than what you were aware of. And then by the time that you got involved in the situation and, the matters of the heart got in the road and emotions and feelings and all that sort of stuff, you didn't know where to turn, and it was sort of then like you were trapped. I don't want to see that happen again, sweetie. I want this next one to be the love of your life. I want this to be somebody that you can grow with, that the two of you bring out the best in each other, that you two of you really enjoy being with each other. But if I can change the subject just briefly of love, was there some new study or something new learned skill set wise that you're going to be taking up this year connected with your work?
Yes. Will it be successful?
Oh, definitely. Very, very, very successful, because they kept showing me that as sort of like, I'm not going to say more important than love, but I was going to say this is a very important part of this year for you, is this new study, this new learning, because this is going to set you up, I feel, for the coming years ahead of you. It's like getting you on your path, and it's something that really needed to be. And also, is there a very major trip planned in the second half of this year as well?
What?
Is there a trip planned later in the year, like to another country or overseas?
Oh, hopefully I am planning, but no, I'm not sure yet. But it's just in the plan. Yeah.
Yeah, because I could just see a long distance trip, and it seemed to be something that you'd been working towards for a long time, and you were really excited about it.
Wow, great.
That's not till after August, sweetheart.
Yes.
Okay. Lovely to talk with you,
Okay.
Jeanette. Have a lovely, lovely Valentine's Day, and I know this new man and you are going to be very happy, but you make sure you are very clear at what you want, my sweet. Okay? We're going to go to Mary in Michigan next. Hello, Mary. How are you tonight?
Hi, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Very, very well, sweetie. How can we help you?
Well, you know what? I guess I just wanted to know if there was something that you could tell me about. I mean, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, and I'm kind of, overdue for some good love, and I didn't know if there was something that you might be able to tell me. I did start seeing someone maybe about 3 weeks ago, and we've had a few dates, and we talk every day, and I just kind of wanted to know what might be in store for me, if you see anything.
Okay. All right. First things first, Mary, that they were showing me that there was a series of endings, changes and transformations that have either just happened or just about to happen, but I'd like to take it back to last October. It's sort of when everything started to sort of rev up and change and end and clear out of the road in your life so that we could get you to this point where you're ready to sort of embrace what 2018 has got on board for you. So with this new relationship, would it be fair to say that there's still some question marks there? And I don't mean question marks as in I'm not happy with it, but question marks with, okay, let's just see where this goes. I'm not going to sort of allow myself to fall head over heels in love too quickly. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to make sure this time it's right. Is that more how you're looking at approaching this relationship?
I'm sorry, I didn't really hear what you said. What was your question?
Okay. What they were showing me was that there was a number of endings and transformations and changes that took place in your life from about October last year. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, right. Now, with this relationship, what they were showing me was that there was still a couple of question marks there. Now, I'm not saying that I'm unhappy with the relationship. What I'm saying is that you're taking your time. You're not allowing yourself to fall in love too quickly, to sort of move things along too quickly. This time, you've slowed the pace right down, and it's sort of like, if anything, I'm overanalyzing this time. And it's like I want to say to you, just let it be. Let it be natural. Don't try and slow it down, speed it up. Just let it flow. I feel very comfortable with this relationship because this is a very, very different relationship to any other type of relationship that you've ever had. And I think this is the important thing here, Mary, is that you've done so much work on yourself, and it's now time to sort of just relax a little bit and say, okay, I've got to trust in what the work is that I've done on myself, that I'll be right. Do you know what I mean? That I'm not going to make a mistake, that everything is going to flow the way that it's meant to. If you can imagine yourself being like a log and you're in the river and you're going with the tide, you'll go wherever the volume of water takes you. You know, you're not controlling it. That's how I want you to look at this relationship.
Okay.
And if you do that, I feel you'll feel more comfortable as you go along that, yeah, okay, this is good. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Different, but I'm enjoying it. And that's good. But if I can just deviate off the relationship a little bit, they keep showing me March. Now, is March when there's something major coming up in your work life? Is there a possibility of a promotion or a change or something there? They keep pushing March in front of me.
Well, I've had so many changes and so many things. It's been a ball of transformation that who knows? I mean, there could be one more thing around the corner. I know that I'm see March. That's next month. In
Yes,
May,
next
I'm going
month.
on a
It's only
vacation.
3
But
times. That's quite good. I've got to share it with you, Mary, before we run out of time on the show, because they just showed me the word March 3 times and they showed me work next to it. So I wasn't sure how to
Okay.
interpret that, whether it was a promotion, whether it was something that you knew coming up in March, but it was whatever it is, but please be aware of it. It's good. I didn't feel uncomfortable with it. And I also
Okay.
felt that there'd be a change of residence this year too. Was that something that's in the background or potentially on the back burner?
Not right now, no. Mm-mm.
Okay, well, I'll leave that with you too. I'm not saying that you've got to make a decision this year. I'm just saying don't be surprised if something changes in your life and that comes up for discussion, or we look at maybe it's because the relationship becomes so serious that, we're making some life-changing choices. But there's certainly towards the end of the year, like around October onwards, seemed to be when that was at its strongest. But look, also I want to say to you, Mary, is keep up the good work and give yourself a packet of gold stars. You've done really, really well. And your life is starting to come together the way that it should now because of the work that you've done on yourself. And, that's really something that you should be extremely proud of. But I know this new relationship is going to develop into what you want it to be. So I want to thank you for being part of the show. We only have about probably 40 seconds left of the show now, so I'd like to take the opportunity to wish everybody again an extremely happy Valentine's Day wherever you are around this amazing planet of ours. For those of you that want to know a little bit more about love, I'll be doing a live love workshop on Facebook directly after the show, so if you want to join me there, that'd be great. Next week we'll have on the show the final part of our 4-part series on love, where we're going to be looking at Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've been talking about on love and relationships. Next week, of course, we'll have our Simply Tarot card of the week, our glimpse around the universe, and we'll also have the final part of our 4-part series on love, and we'll have our new candle of the week. So wherever you are, don't eat too much chocolate, and remember to be kind to yourself and spoil somebody, and just show somebody some act of kindness and love. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye for now.